Now, as you may have heard, Ghana's cocoa will now be sold at 660 cedis per bag for the 2020-2021 crop season. Now, this is a 28% jump from the 514 cedi producer price in the previous season. Now, before this announcement by the president, the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform called for an increase in the living income differential of cocoa farmers to a minimum of 672 Ghana cedis per bag. Here's more in this report. Cocoa Board is being urged to, as a matter of urgency, realize the purpose for instituting the living income differential so as to make up for the losses due to the fall in international cocoa prices as a result of COVID-19. In July 2019, Ghana and Ivory Coast, that control over 60% of the world's cocoa production, agreed on a floor price of $2,600 per ton of cocoa beans and also a living income differential of $400 per ton of cocoa. This will be paid by chocolate and cocoa processing companies to farmers commencing in the 2020-2021 cocoa season. Meanwhile, the Civil Society Cocoa Platform is requesting that Cocoa Board pays farmers a minimum of 672.6 cedis, approximately $118 per bag of cocoa beans. This figure was arrived using the lowest projected values available, including the living income differential of $400 per ton as agreed. Based on the 2019-2020 parameters for calculating the net FOB for cocoa beans, they expect the net FOB for the 2020-2021 cocoa crop season to be not less than 90% of the prevailing world cocoa market price. Well, we're joined by a coordinator of the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform, Obed Owusu-Ada, for some reactions to this development. If you could hear me, Obed, welcome to the program. Now, the president announced 660 cedis per bag of cocoa beans. You earlier called for 672 Ghana cedis per bag. Has expectation been met?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, by and large, we commend the government for that very bold decision to increase the price by 28%. But as you rightly said, it is still a bit below the expectation that we were looking for that should go to the farmer. And just a point of correction, we made our projection with the assumption that the government was going to retain about 20% of the living income differential. But as it turned out, they have given all the $400 to the farmer. So by our projection and by that increment that they did, they should have been able to do a bit more than they did. But by and large, we think it's very, very commendable that the government did what they did.
Great. Now, we know that Ghana and Ivory Coast in 2019 agreed on a living income differential, as you rightly stated, of $400 per ton of cocoa. How does this inform the current price?
Thank you very much. When you look at the current price of cocoa on the international market, you realize that it has really dropped. It has dropped since last year to around last Friday. It was around $2,474 per ton of cocoa. So there has been almost like a 23 to 24% drop in the price since the beginning of the year. So in July last year, when they instituted the LID, the assumption was that it will make up for some of these losses. And based on the projections and the calculations, if the LID was fully implemented as it is being implemented now, we expect that the government should have been able to pay farmers about 698 Ghana cedis per ton of cocoa and per bag of cocoa.
Great. In 30 seconds, we do know that we're going to be opening the new cocoa season amid COVID-19. What are your projections?
The Cocoa Board has said that they are expecting increments in the production of cocoa. We are expecting that farmers will go to the station, the various LBCs, and get a good measurement. The problem has always been that when they take their 64 kilos of cocoa to the pump, they don't get a good measure. There is mostly a tweaking of the scale, and the cocoa farmers are shortchanged. So we're expecting that the government will make sure that the LBCs do not shortchange the cocoa farmers, and indeed they measure their cocoa according to the scale that they are taking their cocoa to the pump.
Great. Obed, we're so grateful that you joined us there. Here's the coordinator for the Civil Society Group on Cocoa Farmers.